Amigos and amigas Facebook, I want to discuss today one assumption that has cost me a lot of money, a lot of impact, and a lot of fulfillment in my career. And the assumption is very simple. They already know that, therefore, I don't have to share my message. Now, back in 2008, when we opened up InfluenceOlogy, me and Jeff Perrell, for the first couple years, I went beast mode, talking about you gotta overcome the fear of speaking, you gotta overcome the fear of speaking, and record video series, programs, wrote ebooks, all that stuff. And after a couple years, I'm like, man, people don't want to hear more about overcome the fear of speaking, so I kind of like stopped talking about it. And now I realized I start going to these events, and then I start asking people, I'm curious, how many of you believe that if you were to speak to groups that you could help more people make more money? Everybody would agree with me, 100%. And I say, how many of you are doing? And maybe like 10% are doing. And I'm like, so what stopped you from doing that? And then people like, fear. I'm like, man, how are you talking about that stuff? Duh. And then I'm like, well, people gotta hear the message over and over and over again. Fast forward a year, back in 2009. Now, when video marketing was starting, I went like beast mode on video marketing. Talk about video marketing, like video marketing. Then, I won't be able to talk to you right now, I'm sorry. Talk about video marketing. And then eventually, people like, man, people already know about video marketing. Okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about video marketing anymore. And then eventually, what happened was that I start going the same thing. Start going to events and ask people, how many of you here feel that if you were to record your message in front of a and share to people that you help more people, make more money, the same thing? And how many of you are doing it? No, nobody's doing it. 10% of people are doing it. And look, this weekend, This weekend I was doing an event. There's 100 people, and I said, how many of you feel like if you were to record videos and share it with the community, you'll be able to help more people? Like, out of 100 people, 100 people, everybody agree. How many are doing? 3 out of 100. So I'm like, again, an assumption that, because sometimes I kind of like, oh man, I already been talking too much about that stuff, and then therefore, I don't need to talk because they already get it. And I'm telling you, they don't get it. And your job, now this is very important, this is the point of the video here. Your job as a world-class communicator, your job as a world-class influencer, speaker, presenter, is to tell the message over and over again. Now, obviously that you gotta figure out ways to talk about the message differently so that you engage the audience, but ultimately, you gotta be advocating. And if it feels like, now that's very important, if it feels like, man, I already talked about that, and you're like, man, people don't wanna hear anymore, that means that you're doing a great job. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why specifically it's so important for you to advocate your message. Number one is because trust research shows that right now we live in a very low trust era, okay? And research shows that every time you present your message for, let's say, 10 people, for 6 of them out of 10, they gotta hear your message at least 5 times. Think about that. So that's why it's so important that they gotta hear the message over and over, because repetition increases believability, okay? Repetition increases believability, number one. That's number one, because we live in a very low trust era, and then they gotta hear your message more than one time to believe you. So that's why you gotta be advocating. The second reason why it's so important for you to be advocating your message and talk about your message over and over is because there's a concept called illusory superiority, okay? Illusory superiority. And if you type it up on Google, you search illusory superiority, that means that people think they have illusion that they actually are better than they actually are. Let me prove to you. You can go to any room in America, there's 100 people, and you ask, how many of you feel that one day you're going to be impacted by heart disease or cancer? Out of 100 people, look at this, nobody's going to raise their hands. Hey, it's going to be me. But then happens to 5 out of 6 of them. 82 out of 100 people happen to them. Why? Because they have illusion that they're superior. That, yeah, this stuff happens to other people, but doesn't happen to me. Another example here. They did, this is all psychological studies. I did a research with thousands of people that just got their marriage license. So imagine they go, people got married, then they go get the marriage license, and then a psychologist talk to them and say, hey, did you know that divorce rate is 50%? By the way, what do you think is the probability that you guys are going to get one day divorce? Zero. All these people, and there was zero. Nobody thought, no, will not happen to me. But then it happens to what? To 50% out of the 100 people. It's crazy, right? Because of the law of illusory superiority. That's why it's so important for you to communicate your message over and over and over and over again. Right? So the first reason we talk about that, the lack of trust. Then you have the illusory superiority. And then the third reason why it's important for you to advocate is this, that every time you communicate, people are in either one of these three places. Number one, they don't know they have a problem. Right? It's just, man, I don't know they have a problem. Number two, they know they have a problem, but they don't have what? Urgency. And the third level, which is very tiny, they know they have a problem, they have urgency, and they look for a solution. So your job as an influencer, as a communicator, as a speaker, as a sales professional, as a leader, is to educate the first one, the first level, that they have a problem, the second level, to create urgency, and the third one is just to prove that you're the best solution for them. So that's why it's important for you to over-communicate, okay? And if you want one more reason, I'm just throwing reasons why you should is because in social psychology or the science of persuasion, if you study, right, you're going to realize that the research is clear that you have three phases. Phase one, when you shape someone's attitude. Number two, when you change someone's attitude. And when you reinforce someone's attitude. So you shape someone's attitude, means that when someone has no idea what the subject is, so we inform them. So that basically, literally, you're shaping someone's attitude. Nobody knew what a smartphone was before, right? Now everybody understands a smartphone. So you shape. Then, what do? You change someone's attitude. Someone says yes. And the majority of professionals, they do a terrible job what? Reinforcing the attitude they change. That's why people sign up and then they leave. Because we do a terrible job to reinforce the attitude of someone. Right? And so that's why it's so important for you to become an advocate, an influencer and communicate. So that's why some days I don't feel like recording a video, or maybe I'm traveling too much, I don't feel like speaking, but and I caught myself in these little moments like, oh man, I'm tired, I don't feel, but then I changed that because I know that my message, InfluenceOlogy message, is not about us, it's about you communicating your message at the highest level possible. That's the idea. Don't speak to inform, speak to transform. Roberto Monaco here, signing off. And I'm looking forward to seeing one of our classes, Influencing from the Front. Hey, life-changing. We have speakers that came, that have done 1,000 talks, get transformed. We have people who never spoke before came, get transformed. So check out our events, Influence from the Front. And I hope to see you soon. Adios.